Hey everybody, I've been wanting to do this video for some time. I actually did the American version to this series, which is Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling. Came out in Japan, obviously, for the Super Famicom. And the American version was called Natsumi Championship Wrestling. I actually did a video of this, of that game, and I mentioned that I was going to do a follow-up with the Japanese version. Well, this is one of the three. In Japan, they actually came out with three different games in that series for the Super Nintendo, which was Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling, Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling Dash, which is this one, which focuses mainly on tag team wrestling, and Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling version 2, 3-4, and then there was another one, but that one was really weird because it wasn't like these wrestling games. It had some other things. They looked really cartoonish. Anyway, what was really cool about this series back then, for the Super Nintendo, is that, as you can see, it had intros. It actually has intros. Obviously, the Natsumi Championship Wrestling, when it was released in America, the name was changed because of copyright issues, and the actual characters were, the appearances were altered, and the names of the characters that they were based on were removed again because of copyright. But definitely want to do this. As you can see, this was the All Japan Pro Wrestling organization, and the different fighters that you see here and different wrestlers are from the mid to late 80s to the mid to early 90s. I would say 94, maybe 94, 95. And right now, as you can see, you got Gordy, you have the Patriot, who wrestled in the World Wrestling Federation and WCW. Gordy, really famous wrestler, part of the famous Fabulous Freebirds group with Michael P.S. Hayes as the leader of the group. Terry Bam Bam Gordy was the power. He was actually the best wrestler of all three. And you had Buddy Roberts. So they were originally a three-man group, and later on, Michael Hayes teamed up with Jimmy Garvin and continued the Freebird name in WCW. But as you can see, you got Dr. Def Williams, another really very good wrestler. In Japan, they call them gaijin, which meant foreign wrestlers. And Terry Gordy and Steve Williams were really popular and very strong in Japan. And All Japan Pro Wrestling obviously was the rival for New Japan Pro Wrestling, which a lot of people nowadays probably know about. Chris Jericho's out there as their Intercontinental Champion. As you can see, you can actually do double team moves. They just did a double powerbomb move and defeated the Eagle and the Patriot. Here you got them teaming up against probably one of the most famous tag teams in All Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's Giant Baba, Shohei Giant Baba. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Rest in peace. And Jumbo Tsuruta. Jumbo Tsuruta was Giant Baba's second-hand man in the group, but they were the rivals to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And again, here goes the double powerbomb moves. Let me tell you, back in those days, the wrestling games that we had in America was the WWF games, the WCW games. Some of us was lucky enough to get some of the Fire Pro Wrestling games. This game right here just blew it all away as far as the different maneuvers, the different characters. Right now, just showcasing Giant Baba in his intro, trying to showcase what the different characters look like. This is Jumbo Tsuruta. He also passed away. His finishing move was like a high knee. There it goes right there. I like how they designed the people, as you can see. Hodda Misawa, probably one of the all-time favorite light heavyweights in Japan. Misawa was actually Tiger Mask #2 when Baba was able to purchase the copyright name for the character, taking it away from New Japan. Antonio Inoki actually had Satoru Sayama as the original Tiger Mask. Here you got Kenta Kobashi, awesome wrestler, also in Japan. Beat up his body doing all those high-flying moves. Toshiaki Kawada, a super classic kick with his kicks. He was pretty and awesome. All these characters were really good wrestlers, and they were great mat wrestlers, and they can brawl with the best of them. Jun Akiyama was actually the really young guy at that time, but he came into his own. If you have never seen All Japan Pro Wrestling, especially during that time period, if you can get those videos maybe on VHS or you get some DVDs, I really recommend it, man. I was a big wrestling fan for the All Japan. I was a mark for those guys, and they were awesome. Here you got Akira Tao. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He was also a huge star in Japan. I'm just trying to give everybody an idea who these characters were and do a little justice to this, but all the different maneuvers, the intros alone are blowing me away. There was nothing in the WWF or the Super Nintendo back then that could compare to this. Terry, Bam Bam, Gordy. They also do taunts. As you can see, if you press the R button, they do taunts. This game right here, how you play it is, it's actually time-based, so you have to press the corresponding button when you're about to lock up. And then you would press up or down or left or right with the A, B, Y. I believe the X button through to the ropes like that. As you can see, characters can climb up the top ropes. All the different maneuvers that you get. There goes in their version of the Oklahoma Stampede for Dr. Death Steve Williams, another guy who passed away, R.I.P. The Patriot had a short stint in the World Wrestling Federation during the time when they had the Canadians versus America time with the Hart Foundation. Actually has a victory over Bret Hart at that time. That was his finisher, the Patriot Missile. Johnny Ace, Johnny Laurinaitis. A lot of people who follow WWE might recognize that name. Johnny Ace, younger brother of Road Warrior Animal. His finisher was kind of like a stunner, as you can see right there. I mean, I really like this. Look at the crowd interaction. The entrances. Notice how the different people have their different entrance music. You can actually see the announcers. This game was just awesome, man. What an awesome game. Danny Spivey. Danny Spivey had a good run in the WWF and WCW, and short, I believe, in ECW. Then you had the Eagle. I'm not sure much about who the Eagle was under the mask. If anybody out there knows who that is, I really would really appreciate you letting me know. But I really want to give some respect to this game. It's a time-based game again. You press up, down, up, down, left, right with the corresponding A, B, X, Y buttons. The R button would pin. The L button, the L or the R button would pin, if I'm not mistaken, and the R button does the taunts. Every character has their own specific taunts. Again, this is the second of the 3-game series that came out for the SNES. This is called Dash, Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling Dash. You had Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling, which is the original. You had Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling Dash, which is this one. This one is mainly based on tag team, but you can still do singles matches, as you can see right now. And the last one was Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling 2-3.4. Ultimately, when you battle through the game, you have the different options. I can't read Japanese, but I was able to feel my way around because of my familiarity with the Natsumi Championship Wrestling. As you can see right now, look, All Japan Pro Wrestling were the backers for this game. This is the Dash version. And these are the different characters that you just saw. You had Giant Baba, Jumbo Tsuruta, Hodda Misawa, Kenta Kobashi, Akira Tao, Toshiaki Kawada, Jun Akiyama. Then you have Stan Hansen, one of my favorite wrestlers. Danny Spivey, Steve Williams, The Patriot, Johnny Ace, Dan Krofak, Doug Furness, The Eagle. This game is really a treat. If you guys really like wrestling game, especially from that time for the Super Nintendo, and this was for the Super Famicom, I definitely recommend the Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling series. A fun game. The graphics are excellent. Time-based, of course, up, down, left, right, with the corresponding buttons of A, the A button, the B button, the X, and the Y. The R and the L buttons are also utilized for taunt and pin. You could go to the top ropes. You could do top rope maneuvers. You could do power maneuvers. You could do submission maneuvers. You could do abdominal stretches. This game is a really fun game. I really recommend it. I truly enjoyed playing it, and I enjoy having it in my collection. I actually have all 3 of the games. And I might do another video with the last one, which is Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling 2 3.4. That one is just a little different. That one actually has like a Royal Rumble effect to it. It has a Battle Royal portion to it. And the graphics are a little bit better. Instead of just the characters walking down the aisle, they actually run to the ring in that one. So I might do that one depending on how much everyone enjoys this video or who asked for it. But again, 1993 Natsumi Championship Wrestling was the American version. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please leave a comment. And as always, I'll always say, keep it retro, guys. All the best. Thanks for watching.